There's something about high summer that makes everything feel a little more alive and vibrant and just full of life, and I love it. The days seem fuller, the evenings just seem to stretch on, and everywhere you look, something is growing, ripening, or quietly coming into its own. And it just reminds me of the full abundance of summer, makes me feel so grateful, so happy, and I honestly think it is something to be admired. High summer is that point of the year where everything is at its best and its fullest, and it is ready to be harvested, as we can see on the allotment. This time of year always feels so abundant to me, not only because of what the garden, allotment, that nature is literally producing, but also because of the way summer seems to offer us so much at once. It is truly so glorious. Long days, the warm air, the meals made from things grown at home or close to home, spontaneous day trips to the beach, and those small moments that somehow end up becoming the ones you remember most. Those spontaneous moments when you just think, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I wanted this video to capture a bit of that feeling, the very best of summertime living as we are in high summer now. And this is very much a fleeting moment. I don't want to touch on the A word, but we'll blink and it'll be gone. So from harvesting vegetables at the allotment to escaping to the North Norfolk coast and then returning home to do some herb preservation and adding a little more character to our cottage. I am very excited to share this with you. Oh my gosh, you're straight in. Straight in there. A few days later, and we swapped the countryside for the coast and headed to North Norfolk for just a mini break. It was only a long weekend, but sometimes that's all you need. There's something about traveling towards the sea that always just makes me feel almost like a kid again, just excited and happy, and just a longing for the seaside during the warmer months. It's like a calling. Let me know if I'm not the only one who craves the sea during the summertime. Our first stop was Wales next to sea, and I found this beautiful shop called Norfolk Natural Living, which was a lovely coincidence, and I did absolutely love the interior. I thought it was absolutely stunning, so I definitely took away a lot of inspiration from this place. It was beautifully, beautifully laid out. Next up, we went to 𝐼𝐚𝐭𝐜 Beach, and it was absolutely stunning. After we'd spent time at Wales wandering through the town and having a coffee, we came here and it was just beautiful. The beach was quite quiet. I loved being in the sea, and Ember loved it too. She wasn't too sure on the waves at first, but she got used to it and she really enjoyed the space and the scenery. And the plus side about coming to this part of the world is a lot of the beaches were dog friendly, which was super lovely to be able to share that with her. And another thing I loved were the houses around Norfolk, all of the cobblestone and the flint. I just thought they were absolutely beautiful, very much like a chocolate box or a postcard sort of version of something you'd think of a countryside coastal house. They were very, very beautiful and inspiring, so I thoroughly enjoyed taking our time just pottering around the little local villages and having a look at what Norfolk had to offer. The next day the weather had shifted, the sky had darkened and the clouds gathered over the water, and the coastline took on a much moodier feeling, which was really rather wonderful. The sea looked really silvery and grey, and the waves were a lot choppier and crashing on this beach, and it was just so atmospheric and very quiet as well. I was surprised at how empty it was for the time of year, with it being the summer holidays. It's not the bright, picture-perfect version of summer that we often are shown on social media, but it was beautiful nonetheless, and I would thoroughly recommend a trip to that part of the world if you can. Hello everybody, so welcome back. It's nice to see you if you are a returning subscriber, or if you are not, hello and welcome to Natural Living. If you're not already, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more natural living content coming your way every Sunday. So in this part of today's video, what I wanted to do was to start doing a few bits and bobs around the house, a few little tweaks and like odd jobs and things like that. I feel like it's getting to the time of year. It's going to be August literally in a few days, which is a bit crazy. And it always gets to this time of year and my brain instantly starts to think of the house and like preparing for the coming seasons and all that kind of thing, because I'm sure we are all the same. We all kind of hunker down during the cooler season. So my brain kind of goes to like preparing for that, getting ready for that. And I am actually thinking of doing quite a few kind of, I wouldn't say full-on makeovers, but definitely like tweaks and embellishments, I suppose you could say, to different rooms around my house. So if you like that kind of content, definitely stick around for that, because I've got quite a few sort of like mini budget makeovers coming up for, the kitchen, the living room, guest room, and the main bedroom, and maybe the kind of landing hallway. So yeah, stay tuned for all of those, because they will definitely be coming up soon. I've kind of got the bug to start doing that kind of thing now. Yeah, today I'm just going to be getting a few bits and bobs that are on my list ticked off. Firstly, starting with the herbs that I have been drying over our stove. Obviously that's not been on because it's been way too hot for that sort of thing, but I just want to grind the herbs down and store them so that they're good for the winter, and then maybe replenish the herbs as well. And I have seen a couple of hacks actually that online that I really want to try, in terms of like using tape to kind of make your windows and doors and mirrors kind of look more kind of old-fashioned and traditional, because that's definitely my kind of vibe. I don't know if you can see it, kind of like the crossing here on the door. I kind of want to do that on our patio doors and on a mirror I've got upstairs. So yeah, lots and lots of like odd random jobs, but I thought that you guys would like to come along for the journey. And if the tripod gets nudged, it's because Ember's here. Hello. Hi. You're going to say hello. Oh, you're pulling my hair. Hello. Oh, no dear. Oh dear. So yes, let's get started on those now. So these are all of the jars that I am going to be using. It's definitely recycling. These are actually from like old vitamin jars that we've basically just used, and we have so many of them. And they're really pretty because they're glass and they're proper amber glass. So it kind of makes sense to keep herbs in them. And they all, because they're circular, they kind of all stack in really compactly. So I think it will fit nicely in our cupboard. And then I've also got this bigger jar. I think this is just an old jam jar, or it smells of pickles. It's an old pickle jar. That is the only thing I find when recycling jars. Yeah, even if you put pickle jars in the dishwasher, they still smell of pickles afterwards. So I was going to use this for my baileys, but I'm not going to now because I don't want them to end up smelling, really strongly of pickles. Pickled onion, I think that is. So I'm going to pick another jar. Okay. This is an old honey jar, so this one will be fine, and it's a really pretty shape as well. So I'm just going to give these all a wash, and they have already been through the dishwasher, but the labels are really tricky to get off and you kind of need to soak them. Sometimes they come off. This one might be a nice one. Yes. It's come off all in one go, so that's nice. Let's see how we fare with the others, because sometimes they don't all come off in one go and you have to scrape off like the sticky residue. Yeah, like this one is not, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, and it does that sometimes as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna get to that now. Bottles, and all I'm going to do is just go through them one by one. Obviously they've dried, so some of them are very tiny now, but I'm not going to cut anything. I'm just going to try and unpick the knots so that essentially I can just reuse everything, like reharvest everything, reuse it all, put some more up there, so again we have more kind of stock of it basically. So yeah, that's lime balm. I'm just gonna get my pestle and mortar actually so I can grind it down a bit. So all I'm gonna do is just put the dried herb in the pestle and mortar and just grind it down. It's not difficult. So that's nicely ground down into like quite a fine powder now. To smell amazing. If you want, you can pick out, you know, the big stalks and things like that. I will probably leave these in. They're not too big. There's a couple of bigger ones, but I'll mainly be using the lemon and lime balm for tea, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not going to be using that in cooking where it might be unpleasant to get some twigs in your food. And then I'm just going to tip it into the jar. Now, I'm going to get a funnel. I'm really forgetful at the moment. Give me 2 seconds. So here we go. Let's just gently tip this into here. And there we have it. Tiny little bit of lime balm, but it does smell very limey. It honestly does boggle my mind. And then I'm just gonna write a little label for it. So I got these from Amazon, honestly, about 3 or 4 years ago now. So I don't know if they're still there, but it's lasted me a really long time considering I've literally labeled everything under the sun with these in our pantry. So just gonna label it and stick it on. And then basically that has just freed up another position on my herb hanger where I can harvest some more, tie it up, dry it, and then just keep adding to the pot. So hopefully come the winter time, the pot will be full. And then by the time that the plant stops, you know, regularly producing leaves, we've already got like a decent stock of it for the winter. There we go. Lovely. I was done with grinding down all of the herbs and putting them in their jars, I decided to hang this big bunch of bay leaves in our pantry. Bay leaves are really good at deterring any pests and any little bugs from your pantry, especially things like weevils and stuff in your flour. So I hung the bunch in there just as a deterrent to just keep away anything that may be lurking. We've not had problems with it before, but you never know. I think it's always best to adhere to these old ideas on how to naturally look after our home without using any chemicals or anything like that, especially when it's so close to the food. So whilst I was in this very productive mood, I decided to give our kitchen doors a little bit of a, I don't know, an update, a tweak, whatever you will. So I gave them a good clean first, just with white vinegar, a little bit of lemon essential oil and water. That's all you need to clean your windows. You don't need any sort of chemicals or any expensive products. It's nice and simple. And then what I was doing is just taking the tape measure and measuring the middle of the doorway, and then I took some white electrical tape, which I have seen many people use as a little bit of a hack online, to essentially add a bit of a grid to our doors, just to make them look a little bit older, a little bit more vintage, sort of French patio doors was what I was going for. This was a rather fiddly job, I will admit. I will give you the details on this in a moment, but I think it was a really rewarding process and definitely something I am going to fine tune in the future. So I thought that I would now give you the final verdict. I am just looking at it just behind you. I really like it. I think it looks really nice. I love the way that the sunlight kind of falls through it and the shadows that it leaves on the floor and the walls. I think it looks really, really pretty. One thing I will say is that what I used was electrical tape, which is what I have seen other people use. And it is really, really fiddly to work with. It's quite elastic, so it kind of stretches as you pull out the tape off of the reel, but then it doesn't kind of ping back again. So it's kind of left a little bit baggy when you take it off the reel. So that is definitely something to bear in mind. It's quite tricky to work with. Yeah, very, very stretchy. It's a little bit wonky, but that's okay. I tried my best. But what I think I'm gonna do, now I know that I like the look of it and that it is something I am really happy with, I think I have seen you can get flexible kind of really thin strips of molding. It's just plain white and it's a little bit thinner and thicker because that's the other thing, the light does kind of come through the tape, and I don't like the fact that you can see where the tape meets in a cross. But it's okay though, because this electrical tape was literally a couple of pounds. Like, you can pick it up very, very cheaply. And now I know I like the look, I'm happy to invest a little bit more in the molding. It's not a lot of money, it's probably about £20 or so, but I just wanted to double check that I was happy with it before I went ahead and did the whole thing, basically. I've actually redone this quite a few times. I didn't want to record it on camera because I thought it was going to be so boring, but I did take it off and redo it again a couple of times. Initially I did just the 2 lines going through the middle and I was like, no, it doesn't look right. So I took it off and I've done 3 lines and it looks so much better. So, you know, lessons have been learned throughout this process. But what I have also learned is I don't think I'm going to do the mirror in the hallway with tape. I don't think it's going to quite give me the look that I'm going for. And I think the tape is just it's just not quite right. It's just not quite right material. So I think I'm going to leave that one for now and perhaps just move that mirror and get a new one that I think fits better in the space in an upcoming hallway and landing makeover that is going to be coming very soon, fingers crossed. So definitely stay tuned for that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm going to stop chewing your ear off. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you here at 5 o'clock next Sunday for the next video. Have a lovely rest of your day. Stay happy and blessed be.